Hello and welcome to my new graphic novel YouTube review channel episode thing. I haven't done one of these in a while, and I wanted to get back into the habit, so I thought I'd review some of my latest graphic novel reads and share with you some of the more bizarre, interesting, exciting titles that are on the shelves these days. So to kick this all off, I have Atomic Robo, his latest volume 8, which is titled The Savage Sword of Dr. Dinosaur, who happens to be one of my favorite villains from this comic book series. Put out by Red 5 Comics, written by Brian Clevenger, with art by Scott Wagner. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Wagner. It's an absolutely fantastic series with focused around a robot built by Tesla way back when, and the limited series that come out, so it's not quite an ongoing series, each deal with a different chapter in Atomic Robo's life. The latest brings him back to the present, and he's exploring an underground leftover from World War II Nazi science base. And, he runs into his nemesis, the Velociraptor who travels through time, Dr. Dinosaur. Probably one of the smartest written and absolutely just funniest reads out there. I can't recommend Atomic Robo, especially the latest volume 8, well enough. It's just a must read. So, going on though, we've got Thief of Thieves, this by Image Comics, sort of a mashup, if you would, of Ocean's 11 meets the Thomas Crown Affair meets John Hamm. Certainly that's how the main character looks, a la, Mad Men. Very handsome, very rugged, but with a nice sort of criminal, almost usual suspects at times kind of twists and turns. So it's a robbery, caper, crime book with written, or at least created by Robert Kirkman, currently being written by Andy Diggle. The series is just a fun, non-superhero, non-fantastical series for those who like their comics a little more gritty and down to earth. That's Thief of Thieves, Volume 3, Venice. Over here, I have just finished catching up, at least to the end of Matt Fraction and Salvador Larroca's Iron Man run. This is Volume 1, might be a sort of funky, weird cover. Came out roundabout across the time of the first Iron Man movie, and was sort of relaunched back at issue number 1 under the title The Invincible Iron Man, to help, bring in new readers. And it certainly did. It has been, from start to finish, absolutely incredibly well written, fantastic art, and probably one of the best ones, I think, on Iron Man to date. The last volume in the series, The Invincible Iron Man: The Future, takes place obviously just before they reboot at least the numbering for Marvel now. I haven't been up to date with the character, so I can't speak to all of his latest trials and tribulations, but I just managed to get the last 3 volumes of this and catch up reading it. And I mean, when you've got art like that, just absolutely stunning work by Salvatore Larroca. You can't go wrong. And while it does tie into some of the other Marvel events that have gone on, obviously Fear itself took place just before the end of the series. For the most part, it's an easy standalone read, and I would recommend going back to Volume 1 if you haven't read it at all and picking this up. Finally, my last read, not least though, is Batwoman: World's Finest. I believe Volume 4 is already out. I'm only up to Volume 3. This is J.H. Williams III, working with a host of other people, but I hate to say it, that's why I was reading it, for him. It lists W. Hayden Blackman as, I believe, the co-writer. Yes. The previous volume had some other artists come on board, but the truth is, the series has been top-notch from start to this point. I know, obviously, a while ago there was a lot of buzz with J.H. Williams III coming off this title for reasons, but I've still wanted to finish at least his work on it. Because, again, when you've got artwork like this, where Wonder Woman's meeting Pegasus, or like this, where they're exploring through a maze, I don't know how well that comes through, but J.H. Williams III is just probably my favorite artist, especially when you take into account his panel work, his design work, the overall just, atmosphere that his artwork generates. You really are missing out if you haven't checked out his Batwoman series. Also worthwhile checking out Promethea. He did a little work on Batman the Black Glove. I should know more off the top of my head, but check out Batwoman. You won't be unhappy. Anyway, so those are my graphic novels reviews for this week. As you can see behind me, I've got a bit of a collection, and that's really only about a half of the books, graphic novels I have here. So I'm going to keep reading and be back next week. Cheers.